is to ensure more efficiency and effectiveness as we deliver packages to citizens of Liberia. So this contract is an extension of the existing contract, amendment to the extension. And during the course of this program, the Minister of Foreign Affairs will unveil components of this contract to you. We want to take this time again to welcome all of you and thank the agencies of government that work with us, Ministry of Finance, Ministry and the Ministry of Justice, ensuring that we are where we are now. Welcome. We will now start with the signing of the contract to exchange to the contract.
Thank you, Madam Minister. Signing and exchange of notes that will be done by the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs. Also, we have the Deputy Minister of External Affairs. Honorable Olokoli, joined by Commissioner General as well as Revenue Authority. Now about to come by the signing. And our top first will be represented by its Managing Director, Chief Executive.
This front page Africa newspaper. We're live at the Cecil Venice Jordan Auditorium at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Maxwell D. Kimaya, and the Deputy Minister of Finance, Honorable Samora Wolkoli, are spearheading the official launch of the passport issuance reform initiative and signing ceremony. Staff and officials of the ministry have gathered the Wednesday signing ceremony.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Teacher of Government, and Honorable Papa. Can we get a big applause for our minister? So we invite the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, to the podium for remarks. Oh, okay.
Your Excellency, please permit me to stand on all existing protocols. On behalf of Managing Director, Mr. Kofi Buckman of Backpress, I'm pleased to be here today for the launch of the new prize for the e-passport for the Republic of Liberia. For those of you who are not familiar with the history of the passport contract between the government of Liberia, please allow me to introduce briefly the history of the contract. This project started immediately after the war, when only few investors were willing and determined to come to Liberia to invest. In fact, one of our partners, an European company, withdrew from the consortium for reason that they can only invest in Liberia on condition that the government of Liberia provides sovereign guarantee as a precondition for investing in Liberia. Despite this, Backpress took a bold decision and unilaterally invested in build, operate, and transfer BOT project that logically we are witnessing today for the launch of the new prize of passport projects. 3 Canon cameras and a customer service phone and an extra station have all been provided in support of the Passport Bureau as part of social responsibility on part of Backpress. We are also enhancing the CCTV monitoring system by extending to 2 monitors to both the Minister and Deputy Minister's office, and adding more cameras to cover all areas of the Passport Bureau. The Ministry has provided a dedicated room, and efforts are underway to set up an ultramodern dedicated CCTV monitoring station within this week. All these are to ensure high-level security at the Passport Bureau. We want to assure the government of Liberia of our continued and reliable partnership, and do hope that what we are witnessing today will be a win-win situation for both parties now and in the future. God bless us all.
Thank you, Mr. Francis Yenny, for such a great statement on behalf of Managing Director.
This program is
So, Managing
the
Director,
recognition of passports in
we
Liberia
call to the
for
podium
reduction in the
the
price.
United Nations President for the
50
Nation,
University Dallas to
Dr. Kent Slade,
University of
Omani,
Dallas.
for remarks.
So we are here very much. So picture.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, permit me to stand on all this. I am particularly happy to be here with you this morning, both in my personal capacity and also in my capacity as the you will probably be wondering why the UN should be here on such an occasion. But I think the answer should be very clear. Because as I said at the other day, I have a personal stake in what happens in the foreign ministry, because I was myself a foreign service officer. And as we always say, once you're a foreign service officer, you're always a foreign service officer. So I'm always happy to be with you, especially to celebrate an occasion which shows progress in the foreign ministry. As the United Nations President Coordinator too, I am extremely happy to be here, because the Foreign Ministry has always been and will continue to be the most important organ through which we are able to reach the government and the people of Liberia. And therefore it's always a pleasure for us to see the Foreign Ministry organizing its responsibilities, streamlining them in a way that will become effective and efficient, and to the benefit of the people of Liberia. So congratulations, Mr. Minister, for what you and your ministry have done. But let me say one more word before I go back to state. You may probably know, and if you don't, I would want to stress it here, that state protection for every citizen of the state is a major, probably a cardinal responsibility of every state. And as such, it is a fundamental human right for every citizen that happens to be, and we put this way, the people of the United Nations. So happen to be one of the people of the United Nations, that is one of the people in this world. It is the right of every person on this earth to be protected by the state. Owning a passport and having access to one is one of the things we look at to see if the state is performing its responsibilities very well. And on this occasion, I can only be glad that the Foreign Ministry is organizing itself, not only to make the passport cheaper so that everybody can access it and have it, but also be delivered timely and in a better process so that it will not only be cheap and be carried, but it will also be recognized by the international community as a credible document of state protection. If you have not been in a situation where you don't have a passport, you will not appreciate how important a passport is. In addition, for it giving you the protection that you need as a citizen of a state, it is also a sign and an agreement, committed agreement between states, that when you wield one and you go into any other foreign country, that country has an obligation that is between the two states to extend to you the same protection that your state would have extended to you. And therefore, you have a requirement of your fundamental human rights everywhere. So, Mr. Minister, thank you for making this available cheaply, timely, and in a very accessible manner to all Liberians, and do in such a way that we in the international community would always guarantee stability. So thank you on this occasion, and I am happy once again to be with you. As I promised, we will always be in support of this ministry because it is of extreme importance to us, this ministry, and we stand by it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kinsley Okuku-Osman. We invite Madam Namotu Zemle Adams, Charge Affairs of the Embassy of Ghana, for brief remarks.
Ghana's ambassador to the Republic of Liberia, I wish to extend our gratitude to the government and people of Liberia for choosing an indigenous Ghanaian company, Labwest, to supply passport booklets to Liberia. As ECOWAS member states, it is important that we can carry trade among ourselves for the benefit of our countries and people. We at the embassy are delighted that the government of Liberia is extending the contract between Labwest and Liberia. It is our hope that the two countries will continue to work together for the benefit of our countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Adams. Honorable Samara Olukoli, Deputy Minister of Fiscal Affairs, Minister of Finance and Development Planning. Take up brief remarks.
His Excellency E. Maxwell Kimaya Senior, Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Republic of Liberia, and Ministry of Foreign Affairs staff present, Dr. Kinsley Okuku-Osman, United Nations Representative, Coordinator, Liberia, Honorable Thomas Durula, Commissioner General of the Liberia Revenue Authority, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great pleasure to
be here today to witness and participate in the signing ceremony of the extension of the amendment of the contracts between the Liberian government and Bob Press. Representing my boss, the Honorable Minister of Finance and Development Planning, Samuel. He extends his greetings and could not be here today because of some other business schedules. We'd like to thank the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for this indelible effort to ensure first the reduction of passport price to the extent that the reduction, my understanding of the agreement is about 20% reduction in the price of passport, to the extent that this reduction does not affect government revenue. And also like to thank corporates for taking the lost cost of absorbing that reduction by a barter of extension of the contract for additional time. This effort by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, accepted by the contractor, cannot be overemphasized as a very remarkable one. The Ministry of Finance and Development Planning sees this as a great step in the right direction, and like to use the occasion to thank the Honorable Minister of Finance in this particular respect. Thank you very much, and have a blessed day.
Thank you very much, Honorable Wilcox. We invite to the podium Commissioner General, Chief Executive Officer, and Federal Revenue Authority, Honorable Nigel Paul.
Your Excellencies, kindly allow me to stand on existing protocols. I want to say thanks to the Minister of Foreign Affairs for getting the Liberia Revenue Authority the processes that the collection of revenue in that process can be taken to different levels, whether it's through mobile money, digitizing the process of payments and all of that. I think that's the next level we're going. So I want to say thank you very much for this process, and I wish you all.
Thanks. Honorable advisors to the Excellency the President, members of the diplomatic corps and international organization, senior official of government, senior staff of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome to the podium a special statement launching of the passport issuance reform initiative, His Excellency D. Margaret Sakimian, Senior Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Liberia.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Samora Wolokoli, Acting Minister of Finance and Development Planning, representing the Honorable Samuel D. Toure Jr., Minister of Finance and Development Planning, who has personally been involved with this process, along with our other government colleagues, the Honorable Thomas Dona, Commissioner General of the Liberia Revenue Authority, Dr. Kingsley Opoku Amani, Resident Coordinator, AI of the United Nations in Liberia, Mr. Bogman, CEO or head of Bog Press, Deputy Ministers, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Assisting Ministers, Directors, Ambassadors at large, my own old man in the Liberian way, the Ambassador George Wallace, advisor to the President of the Republic of Liberia on Foreign Affairs, and also advisor to our own ministry, other senior staff and staff of the ministry, and in particular, staff of the Passport Bureau, other invited guests, the Chargé Affairs, the Ghanaian Embassy, representing our own friend and brother, the ambassador, who indicated may he has traveled owing to bereavements. Members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we were appointed formally via the green letter by His Excellency Dr. George Weah, President of the Republic of Liberia, on September 29, 2020, as Minister of Foreign Affairs and Dean of the Cabinet of the Republic of Liberia. Subsequently, we assumed our attendant duties and responsibilities on October 6, 2020. On assumption of our duties and responsibilities, we informed the Liberian people, hear the word, that one of our key priorities for our tenure as Minister of Foreign Affairs is the Bureau of Passports and Visa of the Republic of Liberia, situated in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And that priority is pursuant to the vision of His Excellency Dr. George Weah, President of the Republic of Liberia, and indeed the ruling Mighty Coalition for Democratic Change. We did indicate in our statement on that day and subsequently at our commissioning by His Excellency President Weah that we have come to the ministry with one of our vision objectives of reforming the Bureau of Passports and Visa. It is no secret to you that prior to our ascendancy, our appointment to this position, there has been a lot in private, in the media, or in general in the public, as it relates to challenges being faced within the Bureau of Passports and Visa of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. To the extent that series of investigations were launched, which we were not going with, but just to set the premise that which has been in the air in Liberia and out of Liberia led to the United States of America, through its Secretary of State, taking a particular action which brought the Bureau of Passports and Visa further within the public lane. And so our reform agenda, as it relates to our purpose of being here today, has a premise embedded in the synopsis just provided you. That gave us added impetus in terms of our own objective, our own in terms of the ministry, but our own enshrined within the framework of the vision of our President, His Excellency, Dr. George Manneh Weah. The ruling mighty Coalition for Democratic Change, along with His Excellency President Weah, did not hold back in informing the Liberian people and the world of its unending desire to transform Liberia and the lives of the Liberian people. That transformation is multifaceted, and it has to do primarily with empowerment of the Liberian people. And so for us at the ministry, we thought that in line with the pronouncement by His Excellency President Weah more than a year ago, that the price for passports was going to reduce, we felt that taking over as Minister of Foreign Affairs, it is incumbent upon us to ensure the realization of that policy pronouncement by His Excellency Dr. George Manneh Weah, President of the Republic of Liberia, for not ensuring such realization will then bring to light that a pronouncement was made, but yet was not realized. And so we thought to identify with the part of history that has to do with realization of such public pronouncement by our leader. We then embarked on this initiative. We met with our staff, and in particular the Department of Legal Affairs, headed by the Honorable Councillor Dewey Idris, whose efforts I want to recognize, along with that of the Honorable Assistant Minister Rosetta Jacob, both of whom worked along with me in bearing the fruit that we are about to harvest, we meaning the Liberian people, on today. And so we discussed with Bob Press. I asked for notes that I wanted to read, I like to read. And from the notes, it came to my understanding that the contract with Bob Press was set to end in March 2021, which is barely 6 months from today. But that contract can only come to an end if the government of the Republic of Liberia was able to ensure that passports value United States $9.3 million were personalized or were issued to its citizens or those who are entitled to in different categories. From all indications, that was not, or that is not practical. From what the Department of Legal Affairs of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs brought to my attention, that it was not practical for 9.3 million United States dollars value in terms of passports to be issued or to be purchased by citizens of those who are entitled to between now and that time. So it meant that March 2021 will come and the contract will still be in existence. Hearing that, we then asked that a meeting be convened with all of the government actors, the Ministry of Justice, the Honorable Attorney General, welcome, the Ministry of Finance, the LRA, and Foreign Affairs, that we needed to come together and then take a look. We came together, took a look, and we all realized that indeed the contract wouldn't end at that time. So then we embarked on engaging Bob Press. And in engaging Bob Press, as Minister of Foreign Affairs, I then informed my colleagues regarding our own thought as it relates to the passport thing. And I rolled out to them, or I informed them of a threefold vision for my leadership as Minister of Foreign Affairs. A threefold vision for the reform agenda of the Bureau of Passports and visa. But that threefold reform agenda is based on the overall vision of His Excellency President Weah. First of the threefold vision is affordability. We informed them that the President made a pronouncement and that there was a need to look at the Liberian people, and in line with the President's pronouncement as it relates to the prices of passports being reduced, there was a need to look at that aspect. I was informed that there was an attempt to reduce the passports by $5. And then I told my colleagues that in my mind, with my experience from the business end, bringing to bear that we could reduce the prices lower than the $5 that was attempted, that the $5 which an attempt was made to reduce. We then proposed a 20% reduction, as was stated by Minister Willock. And my colleague said to me, if we can engage Bob Press, then that was fine. And I said, yes, I can take on the initiative. We cited Bob Press to a series of meetings. And at the end of the day, we agreed that we will reduce, but that reduction in no way should affect the revenue base, whatever income that was being generated or that is being generated by the government of Liberia. Even before my appointment, that revenue should not drop. And I told Bob Press that the best we can do in the presence of the deputy and the assistant minister, that the best a Bob Press can do for me is not to reduce the revenue base, but if they want to, we can then increase the revenue of the government. And at the end of the day, we agreed, and so we have a 20% reduction across the board for all categories of passports. Putting it in context, the ordinary passports